I'm sick and tired of hearing things from uptight, short-sighted, narrow-minded hypocritics. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth.
I had no prior knowledge of the Watergate break-in.
You had the President of the United States, Richard Nixon, who was running a rogue presidency, a criminal presidency.
We do know from Mr. Nixon's long statement of May the 22nd that he did approve, much earlier, a program of wiretapping and even burglary in national security matters.
Did other presidents break the law, bend the law occasionally? I'm sure they did. Was there wholesale criminality in any other presidency in our history? No.
For God's sakes, they committed a burglary and then they destroyed the government of the United States covering it up. That is the context in which you have to determine and judge and value what they did to John Lennon.
The case against John Lennon by the FBI and the Immigration and Naturalization Service and by President Nixon and all his people was that John Lennon was disloyal to the United States of America and what it stood for. The real disloyalty was Nixon's, Hoover's, the INS, and all the people who were implicated in the FBI and the INS and wherever else, because their perversion, distortion of the Constitution, their violation of the basic principles, that was the greatest disloyalty to this country.
Therefore, I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow. Vice President Ford will be sworn in as president at that hour in this office.
All I want is the truth now. Just give me some truth now. All I want is the truth now. Just give me some truth now. All I want is the truth. Just give me some truth.
Lennon was somebody who was a born enemy of those who govern the United States. He was everything they hated. So I just say that he represented life and is admirable. And Mr. Nixon and Mr. Bush represent death. And that is a bad thing.
Now I have to tell you one little story about the end of the case. I got a call from someone in the Court of Appeals, and he said, look, the decision just came in. You won your Lennon case. And I called John, and he said, wait, what do you mean we won? You told us that it was a loser. I said, yes, because I didn't want to build up your hopes too much. And he said, Leon, I'm just going over to New York Hospital because Yoko is giving birth any minute. I'll call you from there. At about 5:30, I was bleary when he called. And he said, this is John. And I said, John who? And he said, John Lennon, and I have a beautiful boy. That day was his birthday, his new son's birthday, and he won his case.
I remember John's face. I remember how he was when we got that news, and when it was his birthday and when he got the baby as well. And it was incredible. I've never seen him like that. He was like a little boy, looking so happy.
Hi. John Lennon was finally presented with his green alien card, which is actually blue, in the offices of the assistant director, and he talked to the press.
And this was what it was all about. Finally, after 4.5 long years of struggle, John Lennon got his card, a green card, saying that he's now a permanent resident of the United States.
Right on, brother.
To come out in court on the steps of the courthouse, of the federal courthouse, and there he is, and my goodness, he has defeated John Mitchell and the forces of evil, and he's going to be able to stay in the country.
And I take this opportunity to thank all the kids and the fans who wrote to all their senators and their petitions and all the rest of it that were working behind the scenes for 5 years with no pay or no nothing, actually. Just a smile.
Well, I think you bear any grudge against the Strom Thurmans and the John Mitchells for putting you through this all these years?
No, I believe time wounds all heals.